us to some questions. So we've gone through this crap, and so
Gone through this crap. I like that.
My sister's going to be in here telling me I can't cuss on the TV on the webinar. So we've gone through this crap. So condition, rank, availability, and price. This is what we're looking for. And we're okay with any price as long as it's going to give us or show us the ROI that we're looking for. And our minimum ROI is going to be, what are we okay with? 50%? 40%?
Gosh, I don't like to do much without doubling at least with books.
Okay.
But
it's so easy though, because books are so undervalued. Keep in mind, you can go to a thrift store, you can get a paperback book for $1. They don't care, what the book is worth. For them, every paperback book is $1, every hardback book is $2. You can go to a yard sale and they're like 10 cents a paperback and 25 cents a hardback.
I went to a yard sale this past summer where this lady was getting ready to move out west, leaving everything behind for the most part, and she was overvaluing everything in her house. An old spindle of CDs. Oh, well, that's got to be $35. So how about this T-shirt? Well, you can have it for $25. Well, how about your books? Oh, well, whatever you see over there, $1 a piece. She wouldn't sell me a deck of cards for under $1 a deck, which blew me away because she had 6 decks of cards and they're all Coca-Cola, and I thought they were neat. Like, I'll buy them all if they're a reasonable price. No, $1 or $2 a piece. But the books, she completely devalued, and most customers do that. It's very common.
Interesting. So
he was
interesting.
Madder about the cards than he was happy about the books.
There was a cute little
Nick, get your perspective back.
I know.
Those cards. He's already got a house full of books, darling.
I know.
Okay, so we got lots of questions coming in. So what would be a place to source that people never think about? You're talking about thrift stores and yard sales, and those might be the easy go-tos, but what's a place to source that, Michiko, great question, a place to source that people never think about?
Dumpsters? No, I'm joking.
No, she ain't. No, she ain't. But that's a whole
different story.
That's a whole nother discussion. And I've made thousands of bucks on the right dumpster. That's a fact.
Yeah,
we'll put that on the shelf. Yeah.
Come on. We dumpster dived for our shipping boxes for 3 or 4 years of building our business, and we're not above doing that.
So a great source for books that everyone is overlooking is yard sales. And I know you're thinking, oh, come on, tell me something I haven't heard before. Well, if you're out yard sailing, talk to people. Say, hey, I buy anything that's viable on Amazon, especially academic books. Do you have any textbooks your kids haven't gotten rid of? Or do you have any books in the house that you just don't want to look at? I've been let in so many houses in yard sales that didn't have anything out. They said, oh, come on in. I've got this shelf right here. See if you find anything. And of course, they don't have prices on anything. And I'm looking at stuff that not everyone's seen. I mean, it's great. Yeah. So that's a good one. And I'll give you one more that's great.
Sweet.
That's really overlooked a lot would be academic libraries, don't you think? Yeah. You go to an academic library.
Which is what?
All libraries are great. An academic library, if I can get it out, would be one on campus.
Right.
Run by any campus for any reason.
Right.
Whether it be a specific, this is the math library, or a general library for the whole campus. In my approach, I go to someone in acquisitions, and I don't ask for the shelf pulls. I ask for the leftovers. Hey, if you've got a gift set that came here, a professor retired and they said, you get all my books. They're going to look at those 500 books and they're going to pull out 10 of them. And the rest is they have to do something with. That's what I want to look at.
Gotcha.
And so, I'll be able to scan through them and get some real gems that no other buyers are going through.
Sweet.
So that's a great one. Yeah.
Very nice. So we've got tons of questions here. Everybody's piling on here and getting some excitement in this. So another question. Sandy says, what's the best time to sell textbooks? Is it going to be just only a certain period of the year, a certain time of the year?
they sell year round.
There is a best, though.
Yeah, there is a best. There are 2 seasons, and one would be from mid-August until mid-September, around in there. And then the next one would be late December to about the first week of February. So those are your traditional textbook seasons, if you hear people talking about that.
Gotcha.
But keep in mind, there are summer classes.
Right.
There are quarter schools. There are for-profit schools that have completely wonky times that they start. Yeah. So when you hear people talk about the seasons, they're probably talking about the 2 main ones. Textbooks sell all year long.
Nice. So this is interesting to me for those of us who do OA and RA and a lot of stores for those time frames you just listed. That would be what I would consider kind of my low time is your high time.
They're perfect.
Right.
That's a marriage made in heaven. I mean, sweet. All right. So Laurie's asking what categories of books. I think we kind of covered that. You're like all categories. You love textbooks. You're going to go for anything that's got the right money. Okay. How long are you willing to hang on to books sent to FBA if they do not sell? What's your period of time before you're like, I'm flushing those?
Gosh, the quick, easy answer is in the neighborhood of a year, but it really depends on how valuable it is. One example I'll give you that we've held on for about 3 years, and we usually end up selling a couple of them every year. And maybe the perfect thing for me to do with this stash would be to seller fulfill Prime. We've talked about doing that. We might move in that direction. But right now, we've had this one stack of textbooks in Amazon's FBA for about 3 years now. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we trickle them out every now and then. We just sold one. I think we sold 2 this season, right? Mm-hmm. For one was $40 and one was $112.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
if your buy is right, you can leave it sitting there and you're fine, right? And for you guys, especially with the lifestyle you're trying to create, and you've got 5 kids in your home and you're more or less running your business from your home, then it's a small price to pay to have it over in an FBA warehouse. Is that correct?
Sure, yeah. Absolutely.
Although those long-term storage fees really suck,
Oh, they're killing me.
We had some in there that have been in there a very long time, but about a year is.
I have to pull some of those.
Good.
Right? About a year is what we normally do, but we'll do the easy ones first. Okay, what's worth less than $20? What's worth between $20 and $50 and ranked too high? What hasn't sold at least 6 times in the last year, regardless of rank? Different criteria like that, but. The book I was talking about was a brand new book, and when we sold one for $40, that was a mistake. Normally, they sold for $110 to $180.
Gotcha.
And so I kept those in there for 3 years because every year we'll sell 1 or 2 of them, and you never know when a bookstore is going to say, "I need this book, and I need a stack of them, and I want all these that are convenient."
Gotcha. Smart. So another question coming in. Textbook question. My friend neighbor is a professor who gives me books, but most are instructor manuals. Can those be sold? I was under the impression they're not allowed.
If it's an instructor's edition, then we will normally take those and sell those on eBay.
Sure.
They're completely okay to sell on eBay. The only caveat to that would be AP textbooks. So some of your teacher's editions that are for the K through 12 division are allowed to be sold on Amazon. Yeah. And if you ever have any questions, call Amazon and ask them, text Amazon and ask them. Books like these, which everything's probably backwards, I bet, but it says instructor review copy on it, has this on it. Yeah. These need to go on eBay because they're not allowed to be sold on Amazon. But they're worth money. They're selling.
Even if they're taped up, they still need to go on eBay. Even if they've got the stickers covering this speak, they still, eBay's the safe place to keep your account in good standing and not risk anything foolish.
Gotcha. All right, good question. Okay, so do you stick with college textbooks or do elementary level textbooks sell as well?
Anything and everything, but I can tell you that if I knock on elementary doors, they're probably going to be like, "Sir, you need to leave." It's so much easier to solicit on a, do I get them? Yeah, I do. I usually get those mostly through word of mouth, or occasionally I'll submit Board of Educations over the summer. I usually don't do it during the school year. But yeah, we get those too. And when I do, they come with their own unique set of challenges, like quantities. It's like you don't get, when I'm going to professors or when I'm going to libraries or when I'm going to bookstores even, you won't get any serious quantities. You might get 30 or 40 of one, but when you go to an elementary, you might end up with 200 or 300 of the same level reader.
Right.
And you're like, okay, I can sell
30.
Yeah. This year, I can sell 30. What do I do with the rest?
Yeah.
And there's always that. Yeah.
So now you've got storage you've got to think about and those sorts of challenges.
Disposal, yeah.
Exactly. So, all right, good question. So shopping in offices, do you contact companies and ask to buy their books, or are you just catching sales? So I might need clarification on that just a little bit. Do you contact companies and ask to buy their books? Okay, so he's talking about in offices like maybe engineering offices or professional offices or that sort of thing.
I think when he's talking about offices, he means the professor's offices on the campus.
Gotcha.
So, each professor, of course, depending on the campus, either has an office or a cubicle or something like that is where they meet students, where they keep their books and so forth. So those are the kind of offices that he's talking about. I don't know that we've approached too many businesses asking for their books.
I'm sure you have. I mean, the bookstores.
Yeah, but not like an engineering firm or a lawyer or anything like that.
Never say never.
Yeah, never say never.
Yeah, for the most part.
You've been doing it 14 years, so you haven't done all of it yet.
No.
For the most part, I love getting contact before I knock on the door, so it's not so cold. That's great, but it's not always available. If I can contact them somehow that's efficient, I will. If I can collect emails as I'm buying this round and the next round, when I'm going to come back in 6 months, send out an email and say, hey, I'm coming back again. If you want to catch an appointment, make an appointment with me. I'll do that when it's efficient and nice. But there are tons of times, I probably do it more often than not, where I'll go to a cold door. I've never been there before. They don't know me from a man on the moon. And say, hey, this is a very direct sales approach. What do you got? And they'll always give me an objection. I'll handle it very simply like, hey, I'm efficient. I'm not going to take up tons of time. You see this, boom, 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 and I'm out. Or, I'm not like other buyers. I take a larger variety. You just do a little objection handling, and there you go. I love cold offices just as much as warm offices.
Gotcha. Nice. Ian's saying, I'm super new to Amazon. How do you scan a book? So basically what you're talking about is using the scanner app. And Ian, you've probably already used a scanner app in the store to scan the UPC code on a book. And I think Anitra dealt with this just a little bit earlier when I used this particular example right here. It doesn't have a scannable UPC code. Nick said basically he would just pass them by. However, it does have an ISBN inside. So if you look right here, there's an ISBN, and you could type that ISBN into your scanner and see, or as Anitra already said, sometimes you can use the camera feature on your scanner and scan the front of the book, and it might come up. And we talked about scanners a little bit earlier, so hit the replay and you'll be able to plug into that. So hopefully that helps. Another question real quick. Do you get questions regarding whether it's ethical to sell examination copies sent to professors for free?
Absolutely.
This is why I hate his job.
So in 14 years or whatever that I've been doing this, I've been asked to leave the campus probably 10 or so times. I've been escorted to my car a couple times. I've gotten one letter of do not set foot on our campus again. That was actually in the first 3 months of me ever doing this job in 05. And that was a fun letter.
But how many campuses and offices have you been to, though?
I've been to a lot. At one point, when I was really grinding it out, I was doing 60 offices a day, 4 to 5 days a week, several different campuses. So I've knocked on a ridiculous amount of doors. Some people do get upset. As far as the ethical objection, there's ways to handle it, but really I try to keep it very straightforward. And I don't argue with people a lot when they don't feel comfortable selling the books.